In a world where Italian sausage ragu over spaghetti squash with gluten-free noodles is topped with 3 Italian cheeses, she tosses the spaghetti squash and noodles with an Olive Garden dupe dressing before ladling the sauce over the top and baking it.
I don't think people should be allowed to say ladling like that.
Ladling. That's oddly sexual too, right?
Yes. And that was also recorded. On that note, let's get going.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello and hello. It is October 19th, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there is always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about our reviews and recommendations of the week, spooky shows, emotional damage from TikTok, more road spillage, anime, food from Janelle Saffron, and so much more. But first, I am your host, Tim Lichty, and sitting across from me is my best friend in the whole entire world, Christopher Thomas Ford.
What up, what up?
And sitting next to me is the greatest Gen Zer to ever Gen Z, and that is Harley Bianco.
That's a lot of pressure for her.
Yeah, a lot of it, actually. Not even just a little bit, a lot of it.
A lot of it.
You hold up to it, though.
Thanks. I think I try.
I mean, she did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you brought it up, so we might as well get to this.
Whoa.
We have some news to share. Harley, you know this.
Do I?
Harley,
Oh,
It's your news.
sorry. What
are you talking
I thought
about?
this was like a different news, and I was like, am I not in on this?
We're firing
We're
her.
letting you guys know live on the show that Harley, I'm sorry, you were no longer.
I'm being let go.
You are the weakest link. You're fired.
So this won't matter that much to you guys who just listen, but for those who watch us on YouTube, Harley is moving.
Yeah.
Don't
And
like that.
she is moving away from us, leaving us, abandoning us
On
No.
purpose. On purpose.
On purpose,
She
At least I
chose
told
to do
you.
this.
deliberately.
My mom didn't tell me.
Oh shit!
Bro.
Oh no,
Bro.
this is supposed to be a
Sorry,
fun episode.
sorry. I should throw that in there.
Too much
Emotional
drama.
damage. But yes, I'm moving. So
And why are you moving?
I am moving with my significant other.
Hey,
Ooh.
awesome. We're look. I'm happy for you.
I'm
I
not.
can't take. Yeah, I can't say for Chris, but I am happy.
I'm not
for you.
happy for you.
Can you be happy for me while still being sad? Just like a smidgen.
I'll tell you what.
To do new stuff. I'm going to be cool.
Right now, because I'm in a transitional period with my bipolar disorder, I can. When that manic episode hits, and it's coming, I can't guarantee that I can.
That's okay. I'll take that when that happens. But right now, I'll just enjoy the somewhat support.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
So yeah, we just want to let you all know because for you guys watching video, you'll see a difference. But other than that, audio should be the same.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
That'll
We're
be
gonna figure
fun.
it out. Something's gonna happen.
We got some tech stuff to go over in the background. You guys will never know.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's talk about the elephant in the room real quick before we get on with the rest of the fun show. This is a fun episode. We promise.
A good one.
But we abruptly ended our deconstruction series because we decided it was best to do
Yeah.
so for a various amount of
A
reasons.
myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
A cornucopia, if I may.
Like 2/3 of the group here is moving. Chris is moving to a different house, but locally, and just crazy schedules. I'm about to go on vacation, and just a lot of crazy stuff. And
Where
so
you going?
We also just kind of
Austin.
felt that I feel like we talked about most of the things we wanted to talk
Indeed.
about at the time.
Indeed. Yeah,
So-
this does not necessarily mean that we're done forever with it, but we're going to be done for a while.
And if you are curious on how we feel about other things, we have a whole year ago series that you could check out.
We now have
Like-
10 episodes.
That covers a plethora of topics.
Yeah,
That's a lot of episodes.
it is. I'm proud
Pretty
of it.
good.
It's good content, I think. I was really proud of last week.
Yeah,
think-
that was a good episode.
I was really proud of you guys for last week.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, high
Sorry.
five.
Sorry I couldn't be there. I had some comments as I was listening to it on my own. I was like, oh, I could have said this. And then you guys said it, and I was like, oh, all right. I guess they don't need me at all. then.
Wow, Chris is so proud of us.
Yay. All right, well, with that being said, I think it is time to move on with the rest of the show. It's time for some Rec and Rev. This is the part of the show where we like to recommend and review some things for your pleasure. So, Chris, what do you have for us?
Heck yeah.
So mine is actually a continuation of one of my favorite animes I've ever seen, and I am so stoked that it's finally back. Bleach.
Bleach.
Yeah.
This sounds familiar.
If you haven't watched Bleach as an anime fan, you are
Are they even an
You're really-
anime fan?
you're really missing out. Bleach is like top tier. So it's about this guy, Ichigo Kurosaki, who is a regular high school kid who can see ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And then at one point, he meets a Shinigami, which is like a god of death,
Yeah.
who transfers her powers to him. And he becomes one of the strongest, most powerful Shinigamis of all time. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of reasons. He's also mixed with Quincy blood and all kinds of cool stuff. But, you know,
I know my sister used to read them.
yeah.
Mm.
So this is the final arc of the show. I think the show ended like 10 plus years ago. And they just brought it back for the final storyline arc. And so far, man, like it's one episode deep, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. This
How
is
many
exactly
episodes
what I
is it?
missed. I think it's supposed to be like 40 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I mean, it's such a good show, and it picks up years after the original series ended, and it still uses the same characters. But now, since technology has moved forward, like the animation is better, the storyline,
Like Clone Wars.
yeah, they've been working on the storyline for like years,
Right.
So it's finally like all top tier, ready to go. It's being, it's. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm
about it.
happy for you.
It's
man.
one episode in, and I cannot wait for the rest of them.
Cool beans.
Heck yeah.
All right, Harley, what do you have for us?
Mine is Hubie Halloween.
Hubie.
It's an Adam Sandler movie,
Of course
Oh,
it is.
yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
and it's freaking hilarious. So basically, it's literally about Adam Sandler's character. His name is, I think, Hubie Dubois, and he is the monitor of Halloween every year.
Is this new?
I think it's recent.
It's a
Okay.
couple of years old. I've
Okay.
seen trailers and things for it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Hunter forced me to watch it the other day, and at first I was very adamant on being like, no, I
Because it's
don't
Adam
want to.
Sandler.
No, I love Adam Sandler.
Oh.
He's pretty cool. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. I wasn't in the mood for that. And then he put it on, and I was like, I'm hearing Monster Mash. I think I can get into this.
Ooh, interesting.
And it was just funny. He's basically like monitoring. Like I said, Halloween. There's crazy stuff going on. There's a whole bunch of like Disney actresses and actors in it, like some from Ant Farm, which is more my generation. So like China Anne McClain is in it.
Oh, cool.
And then what was that? Jessie, that other show. Some of the characters from that are also in the movie. And yeah, it was just really good. So if you're looking forward to it's still like spooky-esque, but
Yeah.
it's more funny, spooky Halloween, just good feeling.
Well, see, there's a difference. There's spooky, which in my brain goes more fun. Like it's like even if it is a little scary, it's still supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And then there's like horror and everything
Yeah.
else. Like
Yeah.
there's a difference.
And
Yeah.
then there's like Hocus Pocus, which is like in between, I feel, which is still kind of funny. So it like leans more. It's a spectrum.
Interesting.
I think
Halloween
Hocus
spectrum.
Pocus is more spooky.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think of something else that would be like more serious, but still kind of like the new It movie is more like
Ooh,
horror,
interesting.
but still funny. Like I remember when all of us watched
The
it.
new one?
Yeah. The one with, that's just It.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. I remember when we all watched it here.
Oh yeah, we was all here.
And I was like
I
freaking
wasn't
out,
here.
but it was still pretty funny.
Why weren't you here?
Because I don't watch stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Me either. So that's why I had to watch it in like company. Otherwise I would never have watched it.
You didn't have to watch it at all. That's the thing.
But I like wanted to. And then I was also never mind.
We reminded
That's a whole
her that
other-
she didn't have to. She chose it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not about
I
that
wanted to dive into it. But yeah, so it's like, anyways, Hubie Halloween, Adam Sandler movie. It's on Netflix right now. So
Interesting.
if you want to watch
I'll
it.
check it out.
All right, well, I'm continuing the Halloween theme by recommending this show that came out a few years ago, The Haunting of Hill House.
I watched that my freshman year of college. So freaking
That's
crazy. That's on the spectrum of horror.
Right. Yeah. So Jessica, of course, it's Halloween, so she's been giving me all the spooky movies and shows.
All the spookums.
Yeah, we watched the other one that he did, Bly
Manor?
Yeah, we watched that one first, and it was okay.
I haven't watched that one.
This one was good. I liked The Haunting of Hill House. It was a lot more dramatic and a lot more, I think, thought-provoking, and it's just a good storyline. I really liked it. And so if you're looking for a good spooky show on Netflix.
Did I have to close my eyes for most of it? Absolutely. But I watched it, and it was just like, it was more psychological than it was. Actually, I mean, it was still terrifying. Still horrifying.
That's the only kind of spooky horror I can watch, though, is something that actually gets you thought-provoking.
Yeah.
I don't like the mindless horror like that. Just to kill, kill just to kill.
Like Scream movies?
Yeah.
Or the Michael Myers and all that.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I'm good with that. Like monsters and serial killers, I'm always down for, especially if they're just like killing to kill. It's the psychological horror that I cannot stand. That or ghosts and demons. Because that shit is real and it is here. And I am not trying to mess with that. I don't want that in my life. I am good without it.
Well, see, like, the thing also with me, with like, especially with ghost stories, is I have to have a logic. Like, I need to know why they're doing it. It can't be illogical. Like, okay.
This is two separate people.
I need to know the rules of, okay, where can this ghost go? Where can he not go? Like, what
can he go through walls?
Well, because sometimes it's inconsistent. Like, okay, but you can show up in a car, but not in like the bathroom. I don't know. Like, it's there's inconsistent rules that I get irritated with.
You would love the movie Ghost Shark.
That sounds horrible.
It's one of those like D-rate asylum movies, but the shark can go anywhere there is water. But they clearly established that in the movie. So like this lady is washing her car and it comes out of the bucket.
but you know what? At least there's good ground rules. Like
like you know where the shark is gonna be, so you're fine.
All right, I'm down.
That sounds hilarious. But also, side note, another rec since we mentioned serial killers, Confessions of a Killer. What is it? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ooh, the documentary on Netflix?
Yeah. Not the TV series that they made, but the actual documentary.
I watched that too.
That was pretty good.
I was going to say, I'm not down for the TV series.
No, I wasn't a fan.
I didn't watch it. And the reason I didn't watch it is because the families of the victims asked people not to watch it.
Yeah, that.
Because Netflix is profiting off of these family stories without talking to them, without asking them any questions, without even making sure if it was okay.
Right.
And these people are like reliving their trauma again,
right,
because of this Netflix show. And
I like
it's just a jacked
the
up
documentary because they actually had like
interviews and like
with families and like people who knew the people and stuff like that. So, but I'm also just a documentary person, anyways.
Same.
So, yep.
All right,
guys. Well, this is a part of the show coming up next where we like to just change the world, and that is Harley's Hot Takes.
Ooh. Okay, so my hot take for this week, I was really marinating on it because I was like, I need to have a good one.
Yeah.
And it was like nothing was racking my mind. And then I sat there and I was like scrolling on TikTok, and I was like, wow, the range of emotions my For You page gives me in like a 5-minute span is not healthy.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Because like, so recently we had Hurricane Ian. And so I'm seeing videos of that, people's like preparing for it, people's like homes getting destroyed. And then I'm seeing like, oh, autumn in like Vermont is like my next one. And then the next one is like somebody cooking food. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
It's got you all over the place.
Yes. And so, and then the next one's like about sex trafficking. And it's a lot on the dome.
It's funny that you say it that way because Jess and I were comparing each other's For You pages the other day, and I realized that mine is like half like news, like depressing news in the world, in like deconstruction and stuff like that. But then the other half is like comic books and superheroes, and it's like,
or just random stupid videos. Like the other day, I saw a video of, I think I sent it to maybe somebody in this room, but it was somebody panning to an Among Us little plush, and then they took it, threw it into an empty tile vent in the ceiling, and then like the first comment on the video was like, oh, orange vented, you know, when like Among Us was a big thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like funny things like that are like Vine worthy, and then boom, someone's like, it's a news story about somebody that just got murdered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't keep doing this.
There was a comedian, I can't remember which one it was, but he was talking about
like the differences in Oprah episodes. And this conversation was reminding me of that. Like, you've got the fun Oprah episode where she comes out and she's like, everybody gets a car.
Right.
Everybody's getting their own personalized school. Everybody gets a humpback whale. And then there's the episode where she's just standing there in a single spotlight. The O on her show goes like twice as slow. And she just goes, pedophiles. Someone you know might be a pedophile. You yourself might be a pedophile. Just like, yeah, that, I mean.
Yeah, that is the same thing.
It's the same, like, range of emotion, but the difference is on TikTok, it's all compacted into, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're on a roller coaster, which is fine if you're roller coastering for, like, 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But people scroll TikTok for hours,
Right.
and you're just, like, up and down, left and right.
So that's my hot take. We need to fix that.
There needs to be a way that you can maybe categorize your algorithm.
Like, what mood am I in today?
Right.
Feeling silly.
Honestly, that might be a good, like, I mean, that actually is funny, but, like, that might be a good way. Like, what is your mood today?
Yeah,
like, what are you?
I've skipped videos that I'm sure I would have liked if I were in the right mood for
Right.
it. But I didn't because I wasn't in the mood. And TikTok does not have a mood stabilizer setting.
Yeah, and then I also feel guilty when it's like something serious, and I don't have the mental capacity, but I really want to watch this. But then I'm like, scroll.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Right.
I can't. So
That's a good hot take. I like that.
Thank you. Fix it, TikTok.
Gen Z, bringing it to the corporation, the Chinese own, right?
I truly don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Don't get me lying. I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, we are moving along to one of our favorite parts of the show, and that is...
What did I miss?
Yes, this is the part of the show where we'd like to present to you some news that you probably didn't hear about. Guys, look, if there's one thing I know that keeps our listeners coming back...
It's not going to be whatever you want it to. It's not what actually keeps the listeners coming back. Whatever he's about to say next is going to upset me.
It's the diligent reporting on road spillage.
Yep. See, there you go.
Guys, it's been a month and a half since we've done this, and so I got 3 new road spills for you guys. And because of this, I'm going to make a game out of this. Yes, I have a game. So I'm going to read a description about the said spill, and you try to guess what was spilled.
Okay. Let's do this.
You ready? All right, number 1. From Ronan Galan at Autoblog. Mere days after a semi-truck spilled over 150,000 tomatoes on a California interstate, a similar but separate incident left part of a Tennessee interstate covered in another popular topping more commonly found on a al dente spaghetti than on asphalt. What is that item?
Cheese of some kind.
Yeah. Because the other one was tomatoes, so it can't also be tomatoes.
I'm guessing cheese.
Butter.
Butter.
All right, quote, while details about the crash remain few and far between, local news channel Action News 5 reports that the truck hit a retaining wall and spilled a trailer's worth of Alfredo sauce in the northbound lanes.
Yeah.
Can you really call that spaghetti if it's got Alfredo
That's what I was
sauce?
about to say. I was like, it's not spaghetti. It's fettuccine.
I mean, spaghetti is the type of noodle, though. So if you put it on top of spaghetti.
But usually Alfredo goes with, like, fettuccine noodles.
Yeah, usually.
Anyways.
Yeah, so.
It's still cheese, so Chris was right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is Alfredo cheese?
Yeah, you make it with cheese.
No way.
I've made Alfredo before.
I don't
Put,
believe
like,
you.
cheese in it.
I married a chef. I should know this.
Jess, can you agree to this? Or
Thank you.
But it's not.
It's made from butter, heavy cream, and Parmesan cheese. Yeah. All right.
But is it cheese, though? Like you're
It's a cheese
It's
sauce.
cream and cheese.
It's a cheese sauce.
But it's not cheese. Okay, fine. All right, we'll give you the point. I'm not playing, so it doesn't matter.
Give him half a point then.
All right, half a point.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for you.
I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
All right, number
I'm
2.
over here butter.
Butter dog. The dog with the butter.
All right, here we go. This one's a twofer. From NPR. You like that?
Taper.
From NPR, quote, a Florida highway had to temporarily close Wednesday after a semi-trailer carrying cases of blank crashed and turned the roadway into a silver sea of blank.
Can I get a hint? Can I phone a friend?
No.
Oh. You said a silver sea? So is this like an object?
It is. Okay, actually, it's one thing. So while there's two blanks, it's one thing. But I just...
Right.
Is it also something I would find
It's consumed
with Italian
regularly.
food?
Oh, it's
No.
a food.
Yes, it is a food.
Oh.
It's consumed regularly.
Regularly?
Especially in
Silver
Florida.
sea?
A silver sea.
Oysters. Maybe. Mussels? Something of that nature.
Mussels are
Oysters.
Okay, I'll give you one more hint.
Oh, they are. Here.
Florida man.
Alligator? Crocodiles.
What do Florida man consume a lot of?
Crack.
I was gonna say faces.
Or what would you imagine they would?
I don't know. A silver sea.
Because you say silver sea, I'm immediately thinking
Okay, I guess
I'm
one more
thinking
hint.
like anchovies. Like
The silver doesn't have to do with
Oh.
consumable. It has to do with what it's packaged in.
Tuna.
aluminum.
Is it tuna?
foil?
I'm going with tuna.
Okay, tuna.
I'm going with
It's definitely a fish.
Consumable, Chris. Think about that.
consumable.
Aluminum is not consumable.
I mean, if you really try.
I mean,
It depends on how hard you're trying. Yeah,
It's a Florida man. I mean,
you never know. Beer.
all right. The pilot began when one semi-trailer clipped another after changing lanes. Officials said that forced other semis to brake, but one failed to stop and collided with a pickup truck, and another one at the stopping semis. The semi that failed to stop was filled with cases of silver bullet beer.
oh,
1.5 points.
Nice.
there's
up?
no freaking way. How did you get that?
He said
I
that
hate it at
aluminum
here.
foils or aluminum isn't consumable, and that is the only thing I can think of that's like packaged in aluminum that Florida man would.
Yeah, aluminum cans. You're
Yep.
freaking right. I was thinking glass beer.
Silver Sea, the aluminum.
Okay.
All right, last one.
Was it
I have a degree. I can't even think. This is ridiculous.
I don't think this is scholarly noteworthy here.
This is where the street smarts beats the book smart.
Yeah.
If there's one thing Chris knows is what kind of spillage looks like after it's been...
I don't
He's
like the
seen
way
some
you
things.
phrase
He's seen some
that.
things.
I don't like the way you phrase that.
All right, from Brian Silvestro at roadandtrack.com, quote, a rollover crash on I-40 in Oklahoma set social media on fire Wednesday after one of the trucks involved appeared to drop its sticky load of blank and blank into the roadway as a result of the incident, according to The Independent.
I don't like the way you
Load?
put that either.
So this one is the best, and it is two separate things, a sticky load of blank and blank.
Lube.
It sounds super
Dildos.
sexual.
You said load. That's
Yeah.
what I'm going with.
I don't
Maybe?
want it to be sexual. I'm going to say syrup and...
Well, that could be.
I don't like where
He
this is
said
going.
load.
Yes, he said
Come
load,
on. He's giving us a hint
or,
here.
is it deception?
No.
I don't want it to be sexual, but I feel like it is. I'm going to agree with Harley. I'm going to say dildos,
All right.
lube.
Helicopter footage published to YouTube on Oklahoma News 9 on Wednesday shows what happened to be boxes of sex toys and tubes of lube scattered across the
Get
roadway near Mustang Road, just outside Oklahoma City. No injuries were reported.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet some fun was had, though.
So
What do you do in that situation? Like, you come up on that and you're like,
I didn't want to copyright, but the footage from YouTube is hilarious because they're talking about the wreck and they don't know what it is yet. And they're talking to the guy in the helicopter like, hey, John, do you know what it is? And like, I can't really tell. And they zoom in all the way. And you just see these dildos all over the road. And they're like, oh, but you know what? I don't know what it is.
I've never seen one of these in my life, Mom.
Snap.
So there you go, guys. Your monthly dose of road spillage. I got you covered.
Village.
Yeah. Chris, what do you have for us?
Nothing after that. I just... Okay, so mine. If there's one thing I know that keeps our listeners coming back, it's escaped animals.
That is a common thing that we talk about.
Extremely aggressive escaped rodeo bull remains at large in North Carolina.
Of course.
At large?
At large.
A rodeo bull? Yeah.
An escaped rodeo bull described as dangerous and extremely aggressive remained at large in North Carolina on Saturday as officials searched for the 700-pound animal. In Norwood, North Carolina, police revealed Wednesday that the bull had escaped from a stockyard in town located about 50 miles east of Charlotte. But they quickly added, it was no ordinary animal.
What in the Jumanji?
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So they said this bull is chocolate in color, which feels a little racist, but we'll let it slide, and is extremely aggressive. The department cautioned if you see the bull, call 911 immediately, and under no circumstances should you approach the animal, as he will chase you.
Dang.
And I don't know if you've met people from the South, but we're not prepared to outrun a bull.
But they are prepared to do-si-do with it. I swear. I feel like Southerners always want to like interact with any crazy wild animal.
Hey, hold my beer. Watch
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Florida man thing.
Police Chief James Wilson told the Stanley News and Press the aggressive bull broke through the wall and escaped from the stockyard around 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Committed to get out.
They brought in some cowboys from out of town to try and track this bull down. Cowboys, however, reported no sign of the escaped bull on Friday.
Man.
Could you imagine bringing in like a professional
Right.
cow person? Like, this is your whole job is cows.
Hunt
like
down
it's
cows.
in the title.
Yeah.
And they find nothing of a 700-pound animal. See, that's
I
the
just
problem.
can't fathom that he was just like, fuck it. Breaks through a wall.
Yeah. You're just like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore.
I respect him for that.
Now, supposedly, Reba Luther told the station, and I'm going to try to do this in my best Reba Luther accent.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody didn't want to lock the gate, and the big joker got out. The way I understand it, he was chasing cars on Indian Mound Road. And Reba, I'm sorry if you don't sound like that. But that's how you sound.
Where's
in my
this,
mind.
North
I'm sorry.
Carolina?
North Carolina.
Oh,
I don't
definitely.
know.
She does.
What?
Have you never heard a North Carolinian?
One, I don't know if that's what you call them. Two, yeah, I've been there
I think that's
before.
definitely what you call them.
Is it? Okay.
Carolinian? Carolinian?
I think it's both.
Just call them whatever.
Carolina.
Somebody from North Carolina.
That sounds like it.
Now, the escape spawned a plethora of social media posts mocking the situation. One especially humorous meme
I would
generated
too.
by the public was reposted by the Norwood Police Department on Facebook.
Wow.
You can find that on their Facebook. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Darn tootin'.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
just kind of like, well, shit.
Shit. I guess he's gone.
Okay, so mine, since we've been talking about Florida, mine isn't as insane as the last two.
This is
but,
a good story.
It's a good story. It's a feel good. So a Florida woman says she lost her wedding ring just before Hurricane Ian had devastated her city. But then her husband found it days later in the storm debris outside their home.
Incredible.
So basically, she was like, her name's Ashley Garner. She was like cleaning up something in her garage. She put it like, no. She took all her rings off because she was going to do like they have like a punching bag.
Oh.
And so she was about to work out. And so she like took her rings off, put them down.
That sounds like Florida.
Right. Yeah. Just in your garage, just casual, 3 days before a hurricane. And so I guess,
You got to fight the hurricane.
come on, who else is going to do it?
Tim will do it.
Guns blazing.
I watched Tim try to fight a hurricane once before.
Oh my God.
We're not telling the story.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard this. Anyways, so then basically the next day she went to go, she never put her rings back on. She went to go get her rings out of the garage, and she noticed that the chair that she had put them on was moved. And so she's like, well, shit, where are my rings? And so she's like searching around her garage, couldn't find them, only found 2 of her other rings that she had on, but still no sign of her wedding ring. And so basically she was just kind of like, obviously wedding rings are very sentimental. Like they're, people have connections to that.
I guess.
Some people. But then she was just kind of like, well, I mean, if it comes up, it comes up. I really don't care. More worried about the hurricane that's coming in. And so basically a day or so later, the Hurricane Ian hits their home. Well, it didn't like destroy their home, but like their neighborhood, trees everywhere. And so the following day after that, they were outside cleaning up some trees and like bushes and debris and all that stuff. And then her husband, literally, I guess he was searching in the bushes outside their home and saw her ring.
Wow.
Dope.
Yeah. But they had looked there like a couple days prior. So they like searched the whole front yard because her garage door was open when she was like working out, blah, blah, blah. And so he found it like in the debris, just kind of marinating there, just sitting there. So he gave it to her son who like brought it into her. And then she like screamed and was like, holy crap, how did we even find this after a hurricane?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That's
cool.
Nice. Yeah,
Well, good for
happy
her.
ending.
And especially after the fact that she was just kind of already like accepted that it was going to be like gone. She was just like, oh well, like
Right.
I'm not even worried about that. But then she found it and it was like,
And now she can't even claim it on her insurance, though.
Oh, darn.
So is it a feel-good story? We'll never know.
I mean, I'm sure she can claim other things when it comes to that. But yeah, woohoo,
Nice.
love,
good for her.
I guess.
All right. Well, thank you, Harley, for bringing the one positive news story out of all this.
Oh,
Yay!
I think mine was pretty positive.
Oh, a bull
They
got
lost
us.
the bull. They haven't found
It's
it.
a free bull now.
What is this? Free Willy for cows?
Yeah.
Love it. Love to see it.
All right, guys. We're going to end this, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about some food and eat a delicious meal. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
Man, I'm glad I found this song. It's a good, nice little tune. It's a new one.
It's a dope song,
It's
man.
providing all the serotonin.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
I love it.
All right, guys, we are back here to talk about some food.
Our main segment, mukbang.
What is that?
So according to the internet, a mukbang, also known as an eating show, is an online audiovisual broadcast in which a host or hosts consume various quantities of food while interacting with the audience.
I didn't know this.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty big in like ASMR spaces. A lot of like Food Network shows, they do partial mukbang episodes where they're like, oh, let's prepare the food and eat it.
Right.
And then we'll tell you about it.
Interesting.
Now,
Lots of
typically,
YouTube.
there's like a lot of food, like a whole table full of food.
Yeah, we don't got that.
No, we don't.
Maybe another time or something.
My lovely chef wife made us a dish.
Yes.
but
Yeah.
Just a dish.
Chris, tell us about her and all that she does, and also this dish, please.
Yeah, so my wife, Janelle Saffron, is a world-class chef.
The best.
Like, literally top-tier chefs. I don't think I have eaten anything as good as her food.
Yeah.
And I say that as her husband, but also, like, outside of our relationship, if she ever divorced me, I would still pay her to make me food.
Yeah.
She's that good. Like, it could be a knockdown, drag-out, awful divorce where she takes everything from me, and I would use what little money I'm not spending on child support to buy her food.
I would probably not become your best friend anymore and become her best friend just to
I
get
would
her
lose
food.
friends
Yeah.
because her food
Yeah.
is that good, and I'm okay with that. I understand it entirely. I get it. I wouldn't even be mad at you. I would probably ask you to bring me her food.
He was like, please, she won't talk to me anymore.
Okay, we can keep our secret friendship, and it'll be a that's how I'll get you food.
Janelle, don't listen to this episode if you're planning on leaving me. So, yeah. She is amazing at what she does. Her main thing is finding delicious ways to make health food, which I know a lot of people hear health food and they're like, oh, gross, salads, just veggies all day long.
Yeah, cabbage.
Gotta eat keto. But she makes food that is not only delicious, but also healthy for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
it's
she
not
does.
boring.
It's really not.
Yeah.
She does like lasagnas and she does meatloaf, which a lot of people don't like, but I love meatloaf. She does like today, I think for dinner tonight, we're having like Cajun shrimp fried rice, and I'm super stoked about that.
Wow.
She made like chicken and gravy with mashed potatoes, which all sounds like Southern comfort foods that are like high in calories and fat and all that stuff. But she makes it in the most healthy way physically possible. And it is still full of literally all the flavor. Like, you can't even tell the difference. It's not like a Coke and Diet Coke thing.
Yeah.
It's just, it is
good.
what it is. It's just delicious. She went to the Art Institute in the culinary program, graduated from that. So she is well educated in what she does.
Yeah.
She's been cooking literally since she was like a little over 2 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Her grandfather was a chef in the Coast Guard, Navy,
Involved
One
water.
of the militaries.
Marines, one of the militaries.
One of those.
So cooking,
One yum.
cooking is all through her family. Her mom's a really good cook. Her brother cooks. Everybody in her family cooks. It's probably one of the main reasons I wanted to be part of that family so bad.
It's a good
I
reason.
love food. But she is well educated. She runs her own food prep company now called Kitchen Witch, and
Yeah.
she has a
Yeah.
food blog called Saffron ETC. That's SAFFRON.
We will have those links in our episode show notes.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. As well as her business card if you want to snap
Yeah.
a picture of it. So this episode obviously is brought to you by Saffron ETC and Kitchen Witch Meals.
Yeah.
Nice.
And by brought to you, I mean she paid us in food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've bought some of her Kitchen Witch meals, and they were so yummy. So yummy.
Super easy to do too because they're all microwave ready to go. Like you basically just get the meal, throw it in the microwave, and
Wow.
Yeah.
it's like a TV dinner, but delicious and healthy.
And
Yeah.
healthy.
So here's what we're doing today, guys. We are going to be eating this delicious food. While we continue to talk about food, we didn't want to just like eat for 20 minutes and just smack and everything while we're talking about what we're eating. So we're not Janelle, so we don't know all the expert things to say about the foods.
I know a lot,
I know you do, but
but it's only through like hearing her describe it so many times.
yeah,
So I don't actually think I know what I'm talking about.
we're not experts, is what I'm saying.
I've just memorized a lot of terms.
There you go. Yeah.
I think we should take our first bite.
Agreed.
Let's do it.
Are we all doing the same exact
Oh,
time?
did you want to
This is an audio thing,
it?
so. Oh yeah, what are we eating for those who aren't
All right.
watching?
So
I'm gonna take a bite while you're talking about it.
yeah, please do. This dish, and I'm gonna do my best to describe it based on the text that she sent me.
Wow.
In a world with an Italian sausage ragu over spaghetti squash with gluten-free noodles, topped with 3 Italian cheeses. She tossed the spaghetti squash and noodles with an olive dupe dressing before ladling the sauce over the top and baking it.
This shit
This
busting.
is so good.
It's essentially like a spaghetti squash, spaghetti lasagna type dish. Kind of
Yeah.
like if Olive Garden were also health food and way better than it is.
Right.
If you had not, would you say the noodles were made out of?
Spaghetti squash.
If you wouldn't have said that, I would not have known.
Yeah.
I legitimately, and granted, I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert, but I would not have known. This is really just delicious. It's cheesy too, but not overly cheesy. It's just perfect.
It's like a really, really good spaghetti dish that you would expect to get at like an actual Italian restaurant, I
Yeah.
guess. Like if you went to Italy, this is what you would expect the spaghetti to taste like, I think.
Like when I think of spaghetti, like this is the kind of thing I think of. Not like that watery, runny tomato sauce, but it's a good meat sauce with some cheese and some veggies in it kind of thing.
Yeah, and she makes most of this stuff by hand. I think the gluten-free noodles that she used with the spaghetti squash she bought, but the meat sauce, the everything else she makes usually in-house by hand. And it's always delicious.
Yeah.
I love leftover night. It's like my favorite thing. Because I can go back and pick my favorite meal for the week and just be like, I loved eating this. I'm going to eat it again. Really, really helps with the mental disorders. You know, finding those comfort foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she makes giant amounts of them because, like I said, she does this for food prep. So usually she'll send out a menu for her customers. They pick what meals off of the menu they want, and then she goes and gets the ingredients, makes the meals. They come and pick up, pay, and go on their busy way. And with that, I get the leftovers. So when she's like, oh, I'm going to make chicken and gravy.
Oh, yeah.
She makes chicken and gravy, dishes it out for however many meals she's making, and then whatever's left over all comes to me.
That's a good life.
What a life.
Yeah,
It
I'm gonna
is
say.
such a good life. Yeah, I'm super stoked about it.
That's good stuff.
It's my favorite thing.
Chris, would you like to keep going, or should we skip to the game first? Should we do the game first?
Let's do the game first so I can eat.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a game, and then we have some other food things that we want to talk about, some facts and some history, and not just our favorite things like we talked about a couple episodes ago. Like we want this to be entertaining and informational at the same time.
Yeah.
So we have a game. It's been going around the internet. It's called Draft or something along those lines. And essentially, the way this is going to go is we're going to basically pick our last meals, and these meals are what you personally only get for like the rest of your life, but no one else can ever eat them. So you want to pick your best or your favorite meals, and that's your meal, only yours, only you get to eat it. Make sense?
right,
And
got
we're
it.
doing top 4, and you want to start with your number 1, like a regular NFL basketball draft. You want to pick with what you think is the best one, and just keep going down the list. Okay?
Got it.
I didn't think about this, but we need to flip a coin about who goes first. All right, I found a little tool here to use. We have a name picker. Let's do the first one. The first one is going to be loading results. Chris, you're first.
Hey, dope.
Followed by... Followed by... Sorry, this thing takes a while. Harley, and I'm last.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so is this like no one else in the world can ever eat this food again? It's
Yeah,
just
it's
for me?
just you. Like,
a draft.
I mean, imagine it's just the 3 of us, but like the 2 of us can't ever take that meal from you.
Oh, okay, so it's just the 2 of you, not the whole world.
But you want to choose the best meals.
Well, it depends.
On what?
If it's the whole world, I'm going to pick something that vastly changes everything about what we do.
No,
as a
No,
so-
it's just you as a person.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
imagine
that's
it
what I'm
that way.
saying. Like, if it's just me getting to eat this and no one else in the entire universe can, like,
No,
that
don't think of it that
changes,
way.
You're thinking
that
too
changes
deep.
the answer that I'm going to pick.
You're
If it's
too-
just the 2 of you,
It's just too deep in this. Yeah, just think of it as 3 of
then
us.
it
Don't think of it as if I should have phrased it differently. What do you think is the best, and that is your thing?
the best.
Like, and we can't steal it from you, but like that's like imagine if it was Halloween candy, and like we got our Halloween things back, and we did a draft. Okay, I pick Reese's Cups. That's my number 1. I get all the Reese's Cups. It's just people in the room.
All right.
Okay, meals. Go, Chris. What's your number 1?
Pulled pork.
Oh,
I didn't pick that. I'm good.
wow, pulled pork.
Pulled pork is probably my favorite meat. And if I had to turn it into a meal, I could throw it on potatoes or rice or
Right.
something like that. And salad even. Like, I'll get a salad and throw some pulled pork on top of it, call it a day.
Wow, that's a good one. All right, Harley, you're next.
Spaghetti with garlic bread. Meat sauce.
Wow.
Spaghetti.
Ooh,
Shoot.
you're just going to take that from Tim.
Okay, I have to look at mine because I had spaghetti up there. Steak, like steak and mashed potatoes. All right, so that's all of our number 1 drafts. Chris, your number 2 draft.
Mine is ramen.
Ooh,
Oh, I didn't put that. Oh, thank God.
if you have good
was going
ramen,
to.
I get you. Yeah, that's smart.
Even if it's not like super good, I've never had bad ramen.
It's just a comfort meal. It's like a good, easy,
Yeah.
chill meal.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the best ramen I've ever had was Christmas. Janelle made some ramen for Tyler and I, and it was, oh my God, it was so good. It even had like the little Naruto fish cake. Like, she went out of her way to get the stuff that we like
Yeah.
and turned it into like a healthy, delicious ramen
Yeah.
for us. And
Oh.
Tyler and I both loved it. One of the other ones is the duck ramen from that restaurant we went to in Disney. Morimoto's.
yeah.
The
Oh,
duck ramen was
yeah.
real good.
All right, Harley, you're up next. You're number 2.
Tomato soup and grilled cheese.
Oh, Wow.
She got you.
That's a good one. Okay. All right. My next one, my number 2, is going to be pizza. There's all kinds of pizzas out there. I don't care what you say. Pizza can make any good meal. Like it just is. Especially if you have like different variations of it. Like you don't get tired of it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my number 2.
Fair enough.
Put anything on it. Or
Fair
like
enough.
different types of dough.
Right.
Pizza was going to be my next one, but it's fine. You got me.
What's your number 3, Chris?
Sushi.
Oh, that's a good one. That was on my list too. Darn it.
Yeah. So my thing with sushi is like it can be almost anything. Like you can do just
Right.
eggs, you can do rice or no rice, you can do. And when I say sushi, I don't mean like the actual definition of sushi. I mean what is colloquially known as sushi. So whether it's nigiri or the rolls or any of that stuff.
Darn, that's good.
Nice.
Darn. All right, Harley.
Bulgogi with rice and kimchi.
Oh. Bulgogi.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell that.
Okay, so this is what, my number 3, because I'm last. All right, my number 3, I'm going to go with a smart route here, is I'm going to go with tacos.
Son of a.
I got to have some kind of Mexican influence here, and tacos is the best way to do it. It covers all kind of things. You can make all kind of tacos. So,
Tacos is my next one.
yeah.
And the only reason I did sushi before tacos is out of spite because I knew sushi was on your list.
I knew you might take tacos, so I had to do it.
See, this is why I could never be like a sports team drafter because I wouldn't pick the best people. I would pick people that I wanted other people to not have.
Yeah.
Like I would end up with like
Yeah, that's
6
kinda how you do it.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I would end up with 6 quarterbacks on my team.
You can't get up the field if you can't throw a ball, now can you?
Chris, during the NBA draft, did you only draft point guards? Yeah, why? What?
All right, guys. Number 4, this is your last one, your last pick. What is it, Chris?
I don't know, man. I had tacos as my last one, and you snuck it away from me.
I got a good one for number 4.
Breakfast meals. Sausage, egg, cheese, waffles, pancakes, French toast, like that type of like combo breakfast.
Does that count as one thing?
You said meals.
But like
breakfast.
But that's not. It's like
Pick a specific breakfast meal.
like pancakes is a specific like breakfast meal,
Are you doing like savory breakfast meal?
like a main thing. Like if you're ordering off a menu, what is it going to say?
Uncle Herschel's breakfast at
Oh my
Cracker
gosh.
Barrel.
We're not doing. No, we're not doing a
talking like-
buffet here.
I'm talking like a specific meal. Like you get your 2 sausage links or your 2 bacon strips, your eggs, your pancakes or French toast, and then your little side of like apples or
Okay.
potatoes or whatever it is they give you. Your hash brown.
I mean, I wasn't going to do breakfast. Were you? Okay, so I guess we'll let you have it. Breakfast.
you.
Okay. All right. Fair
Breakfast.
enough. It's a good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Harley.
It's the most important meal of the day.
Acai bowl.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wanted to do a healthy one so I could still have like that fruit kind of thing. And there's also, you can put granola in it, and you can put like honey, and you can put peanut butter, and you can do bananas in it.
Interesting.
Acai
You know,
bowl.
we have that at our house.
I know.
If you ever wanted to come hang out with us.
Hey. Stop this.
All right, Chris, you took away sushi from me. I already did tacos. I'm going to go with barbecue.
But he said pulled pork, so you have to you have to pick a specific barbecue.
Shoot, you're right.
Meat.
Darn it. Oh crap.
Yeah.
See, I was
Like
trying-
brisket, you could do brisket.
I could do brisket,
And
but I don't know if I would want that as
Theoretically,
like
can I still do pulled pork tacos?
No,
a meal. No,
because
that's
it's a
mine.
taco.
It's like you can't.
Fine, I'll do pulled pork burritos.
Yeah.
Darn it, burritos was on my list.
I mean, you still could both do burritos.
Darn it. Fried chicken
Ooh.
or fried, fried chicken, fried meat, that kind of thing.
I'm going to be honest with you, Tim. I did not put that on my list because I didn't want to be the black guy that was like fried chicken.
You're so bad.
I mean, what? Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Like,
Like,
you
what do you
can't
want
be.
from
You're
me?
black.
There are certain things you just can't say as your favorite food. Like, obviously, fried chicken and watermelon are delicious. Everybody loves it. But as a black person, you can't be like, my favorite food is fried chicken and watermelon.
But why can't it be?
It can. You just can't say it out loud to a group of white people. Because then it just perpetuates the stereotype.
Okay.
It is what it is. Like, it can absolutely be your favorite. No shade there.
Yeah.
You just can't tell white people that it is.
Okay.
Because then they're like, I knew it. And then that whole friendship has to end because you're like, what do you mean you knew it? Like, if you want to keep your white friends, you cannot tell them that your favorite food is fried chicken or watermelon.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that was our meal draft. We'll have to do that again with a different subject or whatever, like movies or.
I had fun with the draft.
It's fun, right?
I'm looking at these
Good meals.
meals that everybody picked, and Tim is
Predominantly meat.
yeah. Chris has a bit of variety. That's pretty good. And then mine, I think, is the most diverse and most healthy.
You would probably survive the longest out of us.
I put sushi on my thing.
Yeah, but like she's, I guess,
Sushi.
she's got more greens and like vegetables. And
Have you never seen seaweed?
You're going to go on seaweed alone?
It's green.
I guess tacos. I can get some lettuce in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pizza. I can put some toppings on there.
Pineapple.
Spinach.
Oh
Bro, pineapple goes on pizza.
no! Shut up.
Oh
We're
my
done.
God.
We're done here.
Next thing we have.
All right. Well, let's move this shindig along with what are we talking about, Chris? Brief history.
We are talking about a brief history of food.
Here's the information coming your way.
Oh yeah. You know how I do what I do when I do it? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, so a brief history of food. This is what we call gastronomy. It's the study of food and culture.
You're into that kind of thing, which I am.
I am absolutely, yeah. Kind of have to be.
Yeah.
Even if I weren't, like, I'm into it now.
You're in it now. You know.
Might as well. Strapped into the coaster, might as well enjoy the ride. It all started with prokaryotes, the earliest life forms.
Oh my
Simple
gosh.
creatures that fed on carbon compounds. Hey,
Are we talking about the first instances of things eating other things?
yes.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about like, oh, the first dishes made in ancient Mesopotamia was this and this. No, you're going like
Oh, no.
It all started.
at the very
It all
beginning.
started with the prokaryotes. They are simple creatures that fed on carbon compounds that were accumulating in Earth's early oceans, and life has been eating ever since. See if you give me time.
That's it. That's the history.
That's it. The whole history. I told you it'd be fast. Skipping ahead a few millennia.
Just a few.
Just a few. The first major evolutionary change in the human diet was the incorporation of meat and marrow from large animals, which occurred by at least 2.6 million years ago. That's when humanoids, hominids, however you want to call it, I believe it was Homo erectus, the first.
Well, that's us, isn't it?
No, we're Homo sapiens.
You're correct.
Yeah, I believe it was Homo erectus when they first started using tools and things.
That sounds horrible.
The way it does, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. But the way that they
The erectus part, or what are you talking about?
Homo
Just
erectus.
to get together.
Oh, okay.
Nobody thought about that when they were naming species.
They're like, yeah, this one's great. This is exactly what they are.
But they can tell around 2.6 million years ago they see bones and things where these Homo erectus civilizations, quote unquote, were. They see tool marks on bones, and there's a certain splatter configuration, I guess, on shattered bones when they're smashed with a stone. And then you can see like there's calcium on these stones that are nearby that comes from bones. So they kind of figured out like 2.6 million years ago is when they started eating meat and shaving it off the bone. They used to eat it raw until they discovered fire and started cooking things, which you can see a really great example of that in SpongeBob. kind of an accident type thing on SpongeBob, but that's kind of how they figure it went. The diet of the earliest hominins was probably similar to the diet of modern chimpanzees. They were omnivorous, including large quantities of fruit, leaves, flowers, bark, insects, and meat.
Bark. That's
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
Tree bark can always be boiled into something. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant, but it can always be boiled into something. Thanks to the lack of written record, we don't really know these things for sure, but what we do have, with what writings we do have, and with archaeology, we can make some pretty good guesses about the history of food. Now, some of the first recorded man-made foods include stews from about 6,000 years ago.
That makes sense.
6,000 BC, sorry. Butter. There's been an old, what we call bog butter was discovered. It's something that somebody had sealed butter into like a mug or a jar or something, and it got lost in a bog. It's about 3,000 years old, 3,000 BC, sorry.
Bogs
Wow.
are crazy.
Pancakes. I bet you guys didn't know pancakes are one of the oldest foods in the world.
That makes sense, actually. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. So there was an archaeological dig where they found a hominin and they checked the contents of his stomach, like he was flash frozen or something like that. The contents of his stomach, and there was a pancake in there. Super cool.
Like the modern version of pancakes, or just like the kind of thing where you just combine things together, fry it both sides, and it's like, pancake shape, kind of thing.
Oh no, it was like an Eggo pancake. It's branded. It says Eggo on the side. I don't know.
I mean, because there's like in Korea, they do things like kimchi pancakes or like, chive pancakes with like egg kind of thing.
Well, it was
So-
definitely bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was definitely bread. Now, the next
Flour.
thing would be flood noodles, found in 2100 BC, or from 2100 BC, rather. Now, flood noodles are just kind of like the base, what you think of as a noodle is found in China. Another side note to this thing, I feel like a lot of the history of food is based on white civilizations, because I feel like Africa would have
Right.
a lot of different first foods, but I didn't see a lot of that when I was doing the research. And then the oldest thing that mankind is known for making would be bread,
Yep.
about 30,000 BC.
Just not sliced.
Yeah, it wasn't sliced until
1930s, right? 40s?
around Betty White's
Yeah, I was
birthday.
about to say. Is she still kicking? No,
She died.
she died.
She
Sorry.
died.
Yeah, she died recently.
All right, I was always used to saying
At the
she's still
beginning of the
kicking.
year. she
That's
died.
right.
Kind of hurtful, actually, that you forgot that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry, actually.
Sorry.
Bread. Welcome to
alright.
the bread bank.
Well, thank you for that history, Chris.
Yeah, man, it's what I do. I think next
pretty
up
cool.
we had some fun facts. You guys want to back and forth with these?
Yes, let's do it. Harley, you go first.
Applesauce was the first food eaten in space.
Which makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I think that it would be an easy thing to just, like those squirt
Yeah, you put in a
Go-Go's.
little
Yeah.
pouch.
Yeah. They're-
Ellie loves those applesauce pouches.
I love those applesauce pouches. They're
Yeah.
good.
They're pretty good.
They just hit different.
All right.
Simple. Pistachios aren't nuts. They're actually fruits.
Liar.
There's actually a lot of what we call nuts are actually fruits, aren't there?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I put something else in here about that too. Broccoli contains more protein than steak.
So the vegans will survive.
We'll see. If they're only eating broccoli, they'll survive.
I guess so.
Raspberries are a member of the rose family.
How intriguing.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Did you know roses are edible?
Yes.
Evolution is fun.
Isn't it though?
Okay. M&Ms are named after their creators, Mars and Murray.
That's so cute.
I actually knew this because my old economics teacher in high school apparently used to work at Mars, and
cool.
like he told me the story about how apparently he saved M&Ms, and I don't know if it's true, but
Probably not, but go on.
it was nothing crazy. It was just that somehow he avoided nuclear breakdown there or something like that.
I don't think they make chocolate with nuclear.
No,
power.
I just meant like in like
Like a big thing.
yeah, it was a
Got
big
it.
thing.
Okay.
Nuclear,
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Potatoes were the first food planted in space.
What?
Yeah. If Matt Damon has taught me anything, it's that you can plant potatoes on Mars' surface.
Got to science the shit out of it. But yeah.
Popsicles were invented accidentally by a child, 11-year-old Frank Epperson.
Oh, well,
Thanks,
you,
Frank.
You think
Love
he's
my
like,
bomb pops.
You think he made like a lot of money off of that and like
No.
he just
No,
retired
probably
from
not.
there? Probably not, but
He's an 11-year-old
I like to
child.
imagine there's an 11-year-old billionaire out there that was like, you know what? One of these days,
They're going to know my name.
All right. Berries can harbor up to 4 larvae per 100 grams.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, if you eat berries, you've probably eaten bug babies.
Why you watch your produce?
My acai bowls.
There you go. And that's per 100 grams, so
Ugh.
you've definitely eaten a lot more than that.
We're going to move on because that kind of makes me want to die, but that's fine.
All right. Yeah, like I said earlier, there are a lot of things that are not what they appear. Watermelon and bananas are both berries, but
I think I knew that about bananas.
strawberries are not.
And I think
Funny.
I also knew
They're
that.
not berries, technically.
Etymology is
That's
crazy, isn't it?
stupid.
Yeah. It's like there's no such thing as a vegetable.
Yeah, yeah.
Vegetables aren't real.
That's right.
I think we talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, I think we did.
And last but certainly not least, the cereal Fruit Loops all taste the same, even though they're different colors.
What a shame.
I know, that kind of sucks. But like
What a
at the same
shame.
time,
I know a lot of people that would fight me about that fact, but
you're like, purple tastes like grape.
no, it doesn't.
Liar.
Who is pouring milk on grapes right now? Like, who wants that? That's awful. Not even grapes on grape flavored things.
No.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then my last little bit on food, I'm just going to blast through this because there's a lot of information here that's all important. You need every bit of it for your life to be normal.
What's the topic?
This is about the commercialization of food. And again, most of the history of food isn't written down because it's not like a super
Just a casual
important
thing,
topic
yeah.
to write about to most people, I guess. I'm sure there are older restaurants. But according to an often repeated account that was first published in 1853, the first restaurant was opened in 1765 by a Parisian named Boulanger, as far as my pronunciation carries me. Boulanger's establishment on Rue des Poyers, again, I don't speak French, near the Louvre, that one I know is right, served mostly bouillons, which is restorative broths.
Oh, yeah. Like bouillon cubes.
Yep.
Yeah. I knew.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that one.
you get a little cube, put it in somebody's shower head. They smell like beef forever,
Nice.
and they never know why.
I smell like beef.
I smell like beef. The first restaurant in the United States was Delmonico's restaurant, which was opened in 1827 by brothers Giovanni and Pietro Delmonico.
Okay,
More
so
precisely, the brothers opened an ordinary cafe in 1827, and then in 1830 opened the restaurant Francais in their building next to the cafe.
Okay, what's the definition here? Like,
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because, like,
is this like franchised by the like as a government, not government entity, but like I'm registering my restaurant to the government?
tax-registered restaurant, I would think so, because like you got to imagine people have been making food and selling it, like,
Yeah.
and like people will walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this food and eat it here. Is that cool?" And
They
they're
had that in
like, "Yeah."
Pompeii, remember? Like
Yeah,
they had like the whole like
yeah,
buffet
yeah.
thing.
The
Yeah.
almost drive-in theater,
Yeah.
drive-in restaurant type thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't
This is more
quite
like,
know, but I think it's like tax registered.
yeah, kind of
restaurant.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Like recognized.
Like
kind of
somebody
thing.
was like, "Hey, this is what a restaurant is, and here's mine."
Yeah. I feel like it was more like government is like, oh, you're making money off of this and not giving us some? Hand it over.
Interesting.
Hand it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The government, anytime you do anything,
Yeah. Right here.
anytime you start a restaurant, anytime you close a restaurant, anytime you die,
Anytime you breathe.
pay me. The first, and this is paramount to our society. The first McDonald's restaurant was opened in 1940s by brothers Maurice Mack and Richard McDonald in San Bernardino, California. It originally was a drive-in that offered a wide selection of items. However, in 1948, the brothers decided to revamp the business, and after 3-month renovation, a newly envisioned McDonald's opened.
Macadonaldo.
The small restaurant was designed to produce huge quantities of food at low prices. To achieve this, the brothers limited the menu, which only featured hamburgers, potato chips, later replaced by fries, drinks, and pie, and developed simple, efficient format that they named the Speedy Service. This included a self-service counter. So everybody that's complaining about McDonald's using self-service and Walmart using self-service, it's a lot older than you think. This included a self-service counter that eliminated the need for waitresses and waiters. The customers received their food quickly because hamburgers were cooked ahead of time, wrapped and warmed under heat lamps. Gross. These innovations allowed the brothers to charge just 15 cents for a basic hamburger, about half the price of competing restaurants. McDonald's was a huge success, and the brothers began a franchise program.
Have you seen the movie? Shoot, what is it called? It's about McDonald's and about
Super Size Me?
No, it's like a biography about like the franchise franchise. I want to look it up. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, the answer to your question is no, I have not seen that movie. All right. And that became, the catalyst for a lot of restaurants, like fast food restaurants. In 1944, W.L. Maxon Co. created the first frozen dinner called Strato Plates, which it sold to the Navy and airlines. Meals consisted of 3 basic dishes, meat, vegetables, and a potato, on a paperboard tray treated with Bakelite resin. But due to the decline in demand at the end of World War II and the death of Mr. Maxon, however you say it, in 1947, Strato Plates never made it to the retail market. However, 3 years later, Jack Fisher released Frigidinner, the first aluminum tray for frozen meals, designed for the Swanson TV dinner tray, which was shaped like a television. Would borrow from a decade later, when Albert and Meyer Bernstein created Frozen Dinners, Inc. in 1949, the Frigidinner found a market, and by 1954, the same year Swanson trademarked the TV dinner concept, the brothers sold over 2.5 million frozen dinners.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It is.
I just can't fathom the idea that, like, first of all of these brothers, y'all got a lot of time on your hands, okay? But then also, like, they just literally, stuff that we're so used to today, they were just like, yeah,
There's a need
of that.
for this.
yeah, we're just going to blow it up.
And it was typically brothers, you'll notice. I think the key to success in the fast food industry is working with your brother. So,
Or just any industry, probably. Just two brothers.
I can't imagine that goes well for a lot of
Too much ego.
yeah.
Good point. Food specifically.
The movie was called The Founder, by the way, and had Michael Keaton and Nick Offerman and
No.
Interesting.
I did not watch that movie. And I have no plans to.
Let's talk about our most memorable meals. Thank you for that, by the way. That was
man.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Most memorable meals. What you got?
Me?
Anyone?
Okay, I got a couple.
Okay, what you got?
So, first was over at Chris and Janelle's when it was me, Chris, Janelle, and then Kira. Also came over, and then Janelle was just
That's her best friend, right?
Yes.
yeah.
That's an inside thing.
Oh, JK. And Janelle was just like making us like random food and just putting it on the table, and then she lit like candles and stuff, and it was so cute and so yummy, and I just loved that. That was a great time. And then we just like talk shit and like
Had a good old time.
yeah, it was so nice. Another one would be back in high school when Tim and Jess's, when we'd all go over there and have nachos, and Jess's nacho dip is like amazing.
Yeah.
And then we'd eat like little cakes and brownies and whatever and just hang out and play games. Those were all really fun. Another one is eating specifically corned beef hash at Kenzie's mom's house in high school. Like we'd like wake up in the morning and she hadn't made it, and I just that was so good for some reason.
Yeah.
Especially like after a football game. Like I'd go spend the night at her house, and the next morning we'd just like eat that, and then we'd go do stuff on like a Saturday. Good times. And then last but certainly not least is eating tomato soup with my dad.
Aw.
Yeah, I was like a kid, and he like first introduced it to me, and I was like, "This is kind of nasty," but I wanted to like hang out with my dad, so I was like, "Yeah, I love this." But yeah, those are my memorable ones.
That's super sweet. Some of my most memorable meals, first and foremost, one of them's not even actually a meal. Just eating cereal out of those bowls that had the
The straw?
Yeah, the straw.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's like a formative memory
Sure
for me.
is.
And to this day, like I love cereal, and I'll just eat a random bowl. And I'm like, man, I miss my straw.
Yeah, those were great ideas. That was a great idea.
The meal we had at Tiffin's in
Oh,
Disney.
Dude, that was on my radar.
Like,
yeah.
I got the lamb chops. I think you got a pork
I think so.
chop. Janelle got a fish dish, and we just like kind of like picked off each other's
Yeah.
plates. I think Jess was feeling sick because at the time she was pregnant.
That's right. Yeah.
So she wasn't there until later on in the day. But I really enjoyed
Yeah.
every bite of that meal. That was really delicious.
Yeah, we ate
That's cool.
we ate around different restaurants, and I can pinpoint which one is my favorite, but they were all fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fun. I love that.
One of my other favorites is my dad makes this coconut rice and beans. Usually he'll do like a pork chop or something on the side, which is fine. But he makes delicious rice and beans. And we had it recently in Honduras, and like we had just come in on the flight. You know, it's a long flight, so we get there, we're really hungry because we're not eating on the plane because it's not long enough to serve meals, but it's long. And it's just a long day of travel with a toddler on top of that.
Yeah.
So when we get there, he's got food ready to go, and it's just like top tier. It's like the best.
So cute.
Fun.
Another thing that I really enjoy eating is, so it's a flour tortilla with butter, cinnamon, and sugar.
Ooh.
And then you just roll it up, heat it up, and eat it. And it's
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I do that with like toast though.
struggle meal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
essentially struggle meal, but
And then you eat it for like the next like 3 months, and then you get burnt out, and then you don't eat it for a couple months, and then you pick it up again, all over.
Yep.
Cycle.
it's 100% a cycle, which I'm pretty sure is a mental thing. But you know,
Oh shit.
I'm realizing a
Anyways.
lot of things are like mental disorders more than my likes and dislikes. Like I was washing dishes last night and listening to TikToks, and somebody said, I realized that I don't like aggressive women because I'm submissive, or I don't like dominant women because I'm submissive.
I saw that same one.
I like them because they say what they want, and it's really good for my autism. And I was just like, I was watching them just like balls. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, and then one of my other favorite meals is, like I said, that ramen that Janelle made for Christmas. It was just a good time. It was delicious. It was filling. My whole family was there. My little immediate family was there. We were all eating. Loved it.
Chris, what do you call like that? Not raw, but it's kind of raw steak. What is that? You know what I'm talking about? Janelle brought it to me. You both brought it to me, but she made it and brought it to me while I was working at the movie theater. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I would have to ask her exactly what it's called,
Oh.
but it wasn't like
Wagyu.
Rare? Just rare steak?
maybe, but like there was a name to it that she said. I just don't remember what it was. I should have texted her and asked her, but
She's listening to this right now.
and she's screaming.
and she's like,
Yeah. Anyways, I had that, and it's one of the most favorable, memorable meals for whatever random reason.
I just want to point out that all three of us said something that Janelle made.
Oh,
was
yeah.
our favorite meal. So,
Yeah,
I love her.
and not just because she's sponsoring us with food today.
it's good fucking shit.
She's really good at what she does.
I will say some of my favorite meals growing up. My mom would always make this chicken and rice that I really loved. It was just simple, but it was delicious.
Chicken and rice is a good comfort meal.
It is. My dad always liked to grill, and he made like you've had my dad's grilled chicken. It's just simple but good barbecue kind of style chicken.
Hey, do me a favor and don't talk to me while I'm eating. Don't say things that I need to respond
And
to.
he's like,
I don't actually have that many. I will say when I started liking avocados, that was life changing.
wow, really?
Because I don't know if I just had bad experiences as a kid with like avocados and guac, but I thought that I just didn't like them, or maybe I didn't like them and my taste buds just changed. But a year or two ago, I was like, you know what, let me try it again, and it was like, oh, I like this, and it just changed everything. Like I could put this in stuff now and eat it, and
It's calm.
That recently
Yeah.
happened to me with coffee.
Dude, it's wild, isn't it?
I
It's
drink
like,
coffee now.
are you like trying to discover like the ones that you really like? And yeah,
Yeah, 30 years old, just now getting into coffee.
Yeah.
Are
I
you
hated
starting off
coffee.
on like the bitter side or on the sweet side right now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool.
I truly don't know.
That's fine.
Whatever Janelle has in the cabinet, that's what I drink.
That Turkish coffee y'all had is pretty good.
Yeah. You
That's
get
some
good
good
quality stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's the benefit to being married to a chef is that you get good quality stuff, even if it's not like the most expensive stuff out there, which it's not super cheap either, but
Yeah.
you get good quality stuff. She knows how to find the quality.
Yeah. And there's too many meals that Jess has made over the years too that it's just like there's been a couple. I like chicken in general, but there's been a couple of meals where I'm just like I can't remember it, but I can taste it and I can just still remember it back. And so like whenever she does make something that's similar to it, like, oh yeah, we're in the spot.
Another one would be
But you're right.
Aria's birthday when she made that gluten-free one. There was a gluten-free lasagna. That one was good. That was really good. I
Yeah.
also remember that. That was a good day.
Yeah, her dip is really good. Her cheese dip is really good. She also makes good desserts. She's really good at pies.
Yeah.
Really good at pies. I love those.
I love women.
I know. They're the best. That's all I got. All right, let's talk last final thing. We got to wrap this sucker up. Best meal you think you've ever made?
Noms.
What?
It's essentially just ground beef, rice, peppers, onion, topped with avocado and tomato. But I found a really good season combo for my ground beef that also you can use on like turkey instead if you're not eating beef for whatever reason. And it is probably my favorite thing I've ever made. I don't cook a whole lot because I don't have to. But when I do cook, that's typically what I go for because I'm really good at that one dish. And it's delicious.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Period.
What you got?
Mine would be 2 slices of toast, like toasted, and then an over easy egg.
It's just how you started it.
It
I
starts,
miss some toast.
2 mung beans taped together.
it's breakfast food. So literally just like 2 pieces of toast. You make 2 over easy eggs that you put on top of the toast. I use Seasonall to season it because it covers all your bases. Covers all the seasoning bases. So when you're like cooking the egg, you just whoosh, flip it, call it a day.
Yeah.
And then you put them on top of the toast. Sriracha, love that. That is, I think, I'm pretty good because I've always been proud of how I can cook an egg. I can always crack it with one hand.
I can't do much, but I can cook an egg.
Yeah.
Crack an egg.
Yeah.
Did you learn that from Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off on Disney Channel?
I did not.
How to cook crack an egg with one hand?
No, I was just very determined as a child. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to crack this egg and be cooler than everybody else. So
Nice.
yeah, that's like my thing.
I will say before I move on, I forgot something that Jessica makes that I really love is she can make a really good pizza. Like make it everything from scratch kind of stuff. Like, oh, it's been a while, but it's good. Okay, best meal I've ever made, guys. I'm horrible at this. I'm bad, but I think the best thing I can make is like tilapia seasoned really well and like with peas and what else on the side? I can't remember it's been a while since I've made it, but it's usually the best thing I can make.
Nice. That's pretty good. Tilapia.
Tilapia's a good fish.
That's like one of my favorites. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that is our food segment. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you again, Janelle, for cooking us a fantastic dish.
Oh, yeah.
I eated like pretty much a whole fourth of the dish that you brought.
It was amazing.
It was good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Big fan.
All right, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with a few fan questions that you don't want to miss. Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod.
If you'd like to ask us a question for us to answer on the pod, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on our Always More hotline and leave a voicemail question at 254-218-4042.
You can also follow all of our social medias individually and as the Always More podcast. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to it.
right, everybody. Welcome back. We are here to answer your questions because we like to answer questions.
I think Tim likes to answer questions.
I do like to answer questions. I like to teach.
I like to answer questions.
I like to discuss things. I like conversations and stories.
I like to answer questions. Whether I answer them truthfully or not is irrelevant. I just like answering questions. Even if they're not even directed towards me. That's when I really like to answer questions wrong.
All right, so before we move on, before we answer these questions, remember that we have a Always More hotline. So if you'd like to leave a voicemail question, you can do that at 254-218-4042.
That is, once again, 254-218-4042.
All right, first off, we have a anonymous question, which, by the way, you can do that by going to our website and finding the little anonymous question tab. And the question is, I want to know what Chris's favorite anime is and why.
Don't do this to me.
Chris, you have
This is
4
specific
minutes
for you.
Okay, so picking my favorite anime, I've never been able to do. Because, again, it always depends on my mood, what kind of anime I want to watch. Do I want to watch like an isekai? Do I want to watch a shonen? Like it just kind of depends on what I want. Harem just kind of varies. I think if I had to pick one, I would probably just stand there until you left. But my top few, I can easily say Full Metal Alchemist is one of my top tier animes. Like, I love that show, both iterations, the regular one and Brotherhood, a super top tier anime. Great storyline, great character development, really cool power scaling, all of that stuff. My Hero Academia is definitely one of my top tier ones. It's a super cool newer anime that's come out, and they're starting on the new season. They're 2 episodes deep now, so that one's pretty cool. I'm watching that already. Naruto was by far one of my favorite animes of all time, just because it was everything you would want from a shonen anime. For those of you who don't know, shonen animes are like the stereotypical anime you think of, with the main character who has like crazy powers and has to fight all the people for whatever reason. So like Dragon Ball Z would be a shonen anime. All of that type of stuff just kind of boils into how I'm feeling that day, truthfully. One Piece, I'm almost caught up with One Piece. I think I'm on like episode 900 out of 1,000+ episodes.
Jeez.
That has been a journey, years in the making. I'm finally catching up.
Nice.
But One Piece is a phenomenal story arc, character development, all of that stuff. And you really fall in love with some of these characters. A lot of anime can do it over the course of like one season, but the really good ones can continue that. Like after the first season, you just get more involved with these characters.
Right.
And like if I could pick a world to live in and it was just like, hey, you're no longer going to be part of the human world, I'm going to throw you into an anime. Like I couldn't do it. Just, There are definitely some that I would avoid, like Attack on Titan, because that's just hell on earth. But like, if I could be a pirate on the Straw Hat ship, the Thousand Sunny, like I'd do that in a heartbeat. If I could be a ninja in the Hidden Leaf, like come on, I would do that type of stuff. So I don't know, picking my favorites really hard, but top 3: Full Metal Alchemist, Naruto, and One Piece, I would say.
All right.
Groovy.
All right, next question. Chelsea Solace asked, thoughts on standardized testing in schools?
Don't like it.
Yeah, dumb. There's too many individual things to consider. Like
It's pointless.
Yeah, I can't think. I understand you want some foundational standards that making sure your teachers are keeping up to, but like when it becomes like this,
The amount of pressure they put on it.
right, yeah, it's too important. It's too vital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember so many friends, like, or just people in school, like freaking out over like taking the upcoming STAR test or tax test.
Also, I'm still not clear. Do you fail your grade if you fail those tests?
Or you have to go to summer school and
Yeah.
remake it up.
That's
and
dumb.
then you can't go to the
Like,
next
what
grade.
if you make like straight A's and then you just don't test well, so
Yeah,
you
you have a
fail
bad
that
day.
test?
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Standardized testing needs to go.
Yeah. I understand it. Like I said, if you want to keep tabs with where your school system is at and where the teachers are, I get that.
But
to
it
make,
shouldn't be that big of a deal.
right, yeah, to make it something where if someone passes a grade or not, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Jessica Bella asked, "What do you want to do before you die?" Wow, what a loaded question.
Oh.
There's a lot of things I want to do before I die, but I'm pretty good about doing them.
That's
like-
pretty cool.
Like I always say, I live my life for the story. So as long as I physically can do something, I will.
Yeah.
Like, I literally ran away to join the circus once. That was cool. Ended up working at Disney. That was fun. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to Rotan in Honduras. I've wanted to do a lot of crazy things that I do. Go ziplining through the jungle. Go check out a volcano. Like, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Maybe skydiving?
That'd be a fun one.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, me too.
I think that would be cool.
I think I either want to myself travel more or take my parents to go see stuff. Because I feel like my dad and my mom haven't seen a lot that exists outside of where they live.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad because I would like for them to experience a little bit more. And I would like to experience that with them.
That's thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think travel is just a common one. Like, obviously, we want to go to Europe, but we've definitely made a plan to, like, eat our way through Asia. Like, just to go to different countries and deliberately find good restaurants or local restaurants and try to really, experience that. Skydiving sounds fun.
Skydiving sounds horrible. And bungee jumping sounds horrible.
No, bungee jumping sounds horrible.
Both sound horrible.
Skydiving's all right.
My stomach would fall out of my ass.
Here's my thing. With skydiving, like, you jump out, you've got about 30,000 feet to figure your stuff out.
That goes fast, though. It comes fast.
Yeah, but bungee jumping, it's a lot less, and it's the same speed.
Fear. Just not
It's-
having
It's
it.
the same speed and a lot less room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not down for either. Y'all enjoy it. Have fun.
I don't know.
I think on a more spiritual, emotional thing, I want to, a lot of since I've left the church has been about trying to rediscover who I am and what I want to do. And that's still something that's really hitting me hard.
I think that's an ongoing thing throughout life, though,
Yeah.
too.
Well, like, I had based my entire career around ministry, and then deconstruction was like, I don't know if I want this anymore. And, like, ministry or Christianity or any of that. And it's like, oh, okay. But teaching, I think, is where I want to go with. So I think I'm going to find my way back to it somehow.
Go to school.
Yep. Gotta do some schooling. I want to get a PhD. That is a goal of mine.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Do it.
Yeah.
I have a PhD.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Prove it. No, you don't. Are you serious?
Yeah.
When did you get a freaking PhD?
This year.
In what?
Did I not tell you?
No, what? You're kidding me. This
I'm
better not be
not.
some joke.
No, I have a PhD. Hold on.
In what?
Let me find it. I'm pulling it up.
I don't believe this.
You don't have to believe it.
I feel like you're...
Welcome to the Always More podcast, where we
Wow,
find
yeah.
out new shit about our co-hosts.
Doctor of Divinity, Ministry Science.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Well,
Now,
shit.
Is it accredited? Absolutely not.
Oh, you...
But I do have it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's still accomplishment.
Yeah. Like, I did the work. I
You
just-
did the work.
Not through an accredited school.
Look at that.
That's why I don't put it on my resume.
Yeah, I got you. Still good. Awesome. Yeah, I need to catch up. All right. Is anything else, guys, before we head out? Final thoughts?
I don't think so.
No, I'm good. I mean, we love food.
Sorry, there's a fly, guys.
We love the people that make us food.
Yes.
Food history is fun. I am going to include a list of really cool shows and books and things like that. If you're into food, this is some of the stuff that Janelle and I have watched together, or that I'll just get a suggestion list from her.
Yeah.
Different resources that you guys can get into, kind of check out different ways to eat, different meal plans, prepping, things like that. Some history on different cultures of food, some of our favorite food shows that are all super easily accessible. You guys, obviously, I've already talked to y'all about some of them, but we'll add a list on the end of the podcast, and if you want to get into it, check it out, see what our favorite stuff is.
Pretty cool.
Cool beans. Because, you get it? Because food?
Yeah, haha.
All right, guys. On that note, thank you all again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. Chris, where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram as Captain_CT Ford, and TikTok is Christopher.Lionheart.
Harley, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at whatharley, WUT Harley, and on the clock app at harleybean.co.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Timothy Lichty. Thank you all again for listening and being a part of the conversation. And remember, there's always more than this. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
I like that.
I didn't like when you said it like that.
You don't like my creations, Chris?
No, I like the music a lot. I just didn't like the way you said that. Felt weirdly sexual.
It is whatever you want it to be.
Then it was weirdly sexual.